Okay, hello folks. I don't know if you can hear me yet. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Please don't pay attention to this. If you can already hear me and see me, just checking the microphone here and we'll get started in a second. Okay, looks like the stream is good. All right, hello folks. How you doing? My name is Sean Simpkins. I am a local public adjuster here in Miami, Florida, and I am glad that all of you folks decided to join me today. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about actually using video marketing to bring more local business, more local customers to your operation, to your store, to your current set of products and services. What I do, just to explain a little bit about what I do, once again, I'm a public adjuster, and what I do is I help people who have home insurance or property damage or commercial insurance problems. And so what I do is when these people have damage, I represent them against the insurance company with their insurance claims. And so I make sure that these insurance companies pay you, the property owner, what they're supposed to pay you when you have an insurance claim. So as you can see the number below, if you or a family member happen to have any property damage issues, whether you had an accident, I had everything from a car crashing into a house to fires. I've represented people who had already obtained representation. So even if you just need a second opinion on an issue that you have, feel free to give me a call right there at the number. The number is 888-750-0404, and I'll be more than glad to help you. Now, with that in mind, we're not going to talk today about my personal business. We're just going to talk about an issue that small businesses like me, and I'm sure many other small businesses have in general. If you're a local small business owner, you know the lifeblood of your business is customers, hands down, plain and simple. So what we're going to talk about today is how we can use video, which is something that is really becoming a phenomenon in the world today. How we can use this video to actually empower ourselves and power up our businesses so that we could get more sales, make more money, and everybody could go home at night much happier. To start off with, you have to recognize exactly what's going on. Video is becoming just like TV, video is becoming this huge thing. I mean, if you look at even sites like WorldStar or Vines or different video sites, you can now see. You notice that Facebook now has a lot of videos. If you look at all of these different social media sites, which social media itself have really exploded over the last 5 years, 5 to 10 years, but mainly in the last 5 years, social media is the same phenomenon that the internet was to the 90s. And it's exploded, and what you're seeing exploding on social media is basically video uploads, and this is basically forming an exponential effect in terms of human communication. And so because video is so powerful in communication, if you are not on the video train, you're basically going to be left behind, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to be too long here in the future that you are going to be left in behind if your business doesn't have a substantial amount of video advertising to get your message to your customers. And so once again, that's what we're going to talk about today. What we want to do, once again, like I said, what we want to do, I want to try to stray away from talking too much about my personal business, but it's unfortunately, most people have to depend on their own experience. Just like I said, basically, video is going to be to our world in our time what TV was back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. TV basically took over. Once we as human beings, once we as modern people after the industrial age learned how to use the airwaves, learned how to use radio waves to actually transmit various type of communications, from written communication in the form of a telegraph to audio communication in form of radio. The same radio waves, we were able to advance that from not only audio to but also to video. And so once we were able to put video and audio message on the airwaves, that revolutionized our world. That changed the way our whole world operated. Now, as you move forward into the future, the new technologies, which I mentioned before, which is the information age, and now there's a distinct difference between the information age and the social media age. The information age just allowed, very easy access to a lot of information, and so the inputs, there was a lot of people who were able to input, but now social media is making it where pretty much everybody can do the same things that used to be simply the kingdoms of the big network stations or the big newspapers. Now, even people, for instance, me sitting right in front of you, is an example of how regular folks now have the chance to use video and to use social media to really explode and get ideas across. And so we need to use the power of this social media to really get out there. If you have a product or service or an idea that you want to get across, now is the time for you to do it. Now, we don't know how long it's going to be free, but we do know that for sure that it is available in this day and time. And for those of us who live in the U.S., we hope that our freedoms continue, so that we're able to put out and use the technologies that we need to use to continue to speak our minds, put our ideas out there, and let other people know that we want to engage them, and we're able to engage people in a way that we've never been able to before. So basically, the way a TV took over the airwaves back in the early part of the 20th century, which most people know as the 1900s, video is taking over the information technology airwaves and social media in the same manner. So video is going to be to us what TV was to our grandparents. And so if you are a small business, or if you're any business really, or if you're anybody who wants to get an idea across and you don't have a substantial amount of video, social media, and information technology available to the public, then more than likely your ideas, your information, your business is certainly not going to get much publicity, and it's definitely not going to survive. So you definitely want to be in video, on social media, on the internet, and get your message out there. But it was strong even before this all came. One of the things, online video is set basically, and I'm talking about old video, and I'm talking about video taking over social media and information technologies, basically the internet. But really, what is happening is that online video is set to take over what we consider mainstream video or mainstream viewing entertainment. Online video is set to take it over in the next 5 or 10 years. I'll show you some infographics here in a couple of minutes where the growth for online video is phenomenal. And so there's no way with you see some of the Nielsen rating agencies are expressing that there's been huge drops in viewership in mainstream TVs. And one of the reasons is simply because, don't forget that small business makes up approximately 60% of the American economy. And because small business makes up 60% of the American economy, that means that small business owners need to be able to get their message out to people. But TV, even radio, even newspapers, to tell you the truth, have historically set very high prices, and so they've made it very difficult for the small business, or a better way to put it, the micro business owner like me, to be able to compete with people who have large advertising budgets. Once your advertising most people almost have no advertising budget, even though they're trying to do honest, hard work. Most people have almost no advertising budget. But even for those of us who have or have had in the past at least let's say a $10,000 advertising budget, which is probably going to be far more than most small businesses. And also I want to mention, obviously, as a black person who is trying to have a business and be conservative in that manner, that I want to be self-reliant and self-dependent, it is especially important that we have a outlet where we can actually put our information out to people that's not expensive, because a lot of times we have seedlings of business, and we have seedlings, we have ideas that we want to be independent, we want to provide jobs in our community. I want to tell all the communities here in the States and across the world, really, I want to tell all of the communities that some of the most conservative, self-reliant people exist in the African American community, and I'm one of them. I would rather work all day long for a small amount. I'd rather not work. First of all, I'd rather get paid fair market price for what I actually do. But I'd rather work all day long and make something close to minimum wage and be independent and have the pride of saying, I know I did it for myself and provided a couple of jobs, even if we're all not making much money, and provide a couple of jobs for other people, rather than to have to bow down and basically sell myself way shorter than what I should. At least I'd like the opportunity to compete in a fair market, and one of the chief ways of doing this is to have a video, and to have, or excuse me, to have an outlet so that you can bring your message to people. And so in this respect, because small business owners like myself do not want to or cannot, simply don't have the financial wherewithal to compete with these larger companies, even if it's a local larger company. Like, for instance, in my business, there's a lot of interaction between me and contractors and plumbing contractors and attorneys. There's a lot of interaction between our businesses, real estate professionals, insurance professionals like myself, but on the other side of the insurance policy, which is the issuance of the insurance policy, we are all constantly interacting. And a lot of those people, like for instance, a lot of those people in my community are a lot bigger than my operation. And so in order for me to be able to compete with them, in order for me to be able to compete with the people that they're working with, I have to have an outlet where I can reliably get to people, show them my service, and more importantly, show them what the benefits of my service will be. You have to give me a second here. Computer's doing some strange stuff. But anyway, so we have to have an outlet to actually reach people, and this video marketing online, using social media, using using online search engines, makes small businesses like us competitive. And so, like I said, what we're going to discuss this evening is just some of the things that you need to consider when you're trying to use video marketing in your advertisement as part of your overall marketing plan. Of course, as in any business, you need to have a marketing plan, and you'll be surprised, a lot of small businesses don't, and I've been guilty of it myself. So I'm not sitting here on a high horse trying to preach down to anybody. I've been guilty of it myself. You want to have a clear market plan. You want to, and at the very least, you want to have a clear idea of what it is that you want to present to people, who you're looking for, what type of products, and what's the dynamics going to be of your products to your potential market. And so this is going to actually require you to sit down and actually think about it before you try to present it. And that's a very base. I mean, that's something that all business people, all people who are offering professional products or services should be thinking. And so you want to do that as a base. Once again, my name is Sean Simpkins. I'm a local insurance adjuster here in Miami. I'm licensed and bonded. You can check with the Department of Financial Services. Also, if you're viewing this from my website, you can actually go in and one of those tabs actually gives you an opportunity to look up the company and to look up me personally. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn to look up my credentials. I'm a licensed and bonded public insurance adjuster. I've been doing it for several years. My company have been around for 10 years here in the Florida area. I like to call my company the 10-year startup, however, but I am optimistic about growth in the future. I see the potential for strong markets. I want to one little quick message, particularly to my community. We have a lot of money. To the people in my community, we have a lot of money in our community, and it's constantly flowing away from our community, and there's no reason for that to happen. If we'll just reach out, grab, and properly engage the people in our community and provide them good quality service and demand that the people in our community recognize and respect that we're serious about our business and that we expect to be treated accordingly. I think that there will be tremendous economic activity, a tremendous increase in economic activity in the people who are in my community and come from communities like mine all across the world. And so once again, my name is Sean Simpkins, licensed public adjuster here in Florida. If you have any insurance problems, if you have claims issues, or you need somebody to take a second look at something that maybe was done on a claim that you had property damage, you just give me a call, and I'll be glad. You give me a call. That number is 888-750-0404. Once again, that number is 888-750-0404. Once again, my company is Rourke's, and I love helping people with their home property damage and home insurance problems. And also, I want you to keep in mind that I'm also a home inspector. So I'm a little bit more in tune. People who are in my profession are a little bit more in tune with some of the issues that other people have. I don't want to get too far off into that. I want to go ahead and start the presentation. And we're going to start off with basically, I mentioned before that there has been an explosion, an absolute explosion in the amount of people that's using video or viewing video. So video in terms of raw content, there's an absolute explosion. You see 46 billion online visitors, and that's a couple of years ago. We're almost 4 years away from that now. So people are online every day using online videos, and this is and keep in mind this statistic that you're seeing right now is for America. This is not even worldwide, but it's a worldwide phenomenon, and it's really bringing people together. And so the importance of video can't be understated. You want to get in a position. You want to position yourself where besides establishing a market plan, you want to, and of course having something to present to people, having a product or service to give to people, that's basic. You want to, the very next thing you want to do is you want to know your customers. You want to be able to reach your customers in a way that's meaningful so that you can begin a relationship, because you don't want to just a one-time buy. You want a relationship with your customers. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about knowing what kind of product or service that you actually have for them and how to express it to them. We're also going to talk about the need to do keyword research, which I think there's a fair amount of people who understand that keyword research is important, but I want to make sure that those people who are listening, who come from my community, really understand how important it is, and that this is something that you can't skip when you're doing your products and services. And if you can't do it yourself, you really need to get a professional who knows what they're doing to do it for you. The next thing is you're going to need a kind of push. Because just in general in our community, because of the current state of our community, we do in general need pushes. We need various things to help us kind of catch up commercially with the broader the broader communities and other participants in markets and industries, because we are a little bit behind. But this really goes for anybody. This push, anyone can use these methods to actually push themselves. And so we're going to talk a little bit about networking, Facebook, using other people in your life to actually help you push yourself and really get your videos seen by people. Then the next thing that we're going to talk about is how to make some ways to make your video go viral. And I want to qualify. I want to take a second here to qualify that I am not the absolute video expert. I'm telling you that the things that I'm going to tell you this evening comes a little bit from experience and a little bit from what other industry experts have said. And so we're going to put it together. And by no means do not take this as the end all be all, or the absolute last word on any particular thing. This is basically just to give you an idea of what you might want to think about as you move forward, if you've been thinking about using video marketing as a part of your advertising strategy. And so we're going to go ahead and get into discussing some of these things once again. And like I said, we're gonna start with establishing your product or service. You have to have like I said, I've mentioned several times in this video already that I'm a licensed professional, that I'm bonded, and I have something to offer. So if you're out there and you're kind of, I don't want to knock things like multi-level marketing or these type of things, but you want to have something real to offer people. You can't. It's kind of difficult to sell people on stuff and I'm talking simply as a customer myself. We're all consumers. I'm talking as a customer myself. You can't offer an offering. You under you can't offer an offering. You understand? You can't. It's very difficult to develop a business if all you're offering is, I mean, well, it depends on how you do it. Because if your services is how to effectively build a business, and it's something that people don't generally know, and it has real value. One of the things I keep up on my wall here is how to create value. If it has real value, then yes, you offer it. But if you're just offering, kind of something scammy just to get somebody else to do it, you're always going to find somebody to do it. But it's going to be real difficult to take off. And especially from our community, we want to make sure that we come off as trustworthy people. We want to come off as total professionals in the area that we chose to produce a product or service in. And by doing that, we want to make sure that we have a very good offering for people. So make sure that you have an established product or service. Develop your trustworthiness and develop your credibility. Some people say, well, credibility may not be important. I don't know who they're talking about, because I know to any customer who values the spending power of their dollar or whatever money that they're using, they certainly don't want to spend their money on bad goods and services. So obviously, primarily, you want to establish your product or service and establish that you are the professional to provide it. Now, we've already talked about that there's markets out there, and if you don't understand this yet, if somebody told you something different, customers are the lifeline of your business. Once again, customers are the lifeline of your business. You can have, I've heard gurus, I've heard all kind of people say that, you can have any product, or service, and you can sell it as long as you can do this or you can do that. You get people basically selling snake oils. Those are people who get really good at selling you offerings. Okay, don't let smiling people sell you offerings. One of the main things that a business needs is customers. It needs a market. You need a market that you can go to. In my community, to be honest, we have relatively weak markets. Our markets is not as strong as they should be, and so and this is one of the points of this video is to try to develop markets so that we actually have people to go to. You can have the weakest, most terrible. You can provide the most terrible service or the worst goods and products, or products and goods, or products and services. But if you have a group of people who are going to buy from you or don't know yet that your product and service is crappy, I've seen bad businesses go and serve up their products. As a matter of fact, we see them all over the places because some of this stuff they're selling is for instance, food products is absolute poison. But because they have a market and they have a group of people that they can go to, and they have infrastructure in place that they can go to over and over and over again, they can constantly. If they mess up, I've seen businesses. I day traded stocks for a number of years back in the mid 2000s, and I've seen companies over and over and over again who were just bad companies. They just shut down. They shut down these people who sell people who are trying to grow retirement funds and stuff like that. These people get on the phones and they sell them all kind of stuff, and they're selling them terrible products and bad advice. But they have a market. And these people are their market, and so they're able to go to them because they have so many people. They're able to go to them over and over and over again, and they're able to make a ton of money off of this. And so one of the most important things, you can be a bad business and have a market and still win and still make lots of money. On the other hand, you can be a good business and you can have a perfect product and service, a wonderful idea, but if you don't have a market, if you don't have anybody to buy it, if you don't have any customers, your business idea is just going to flop. And I'm sure the people who are listening to this program right now, and those people who might listen to this in the future, knows that I'm sure there's probably millions of people out there who will be in voice shot of this recording, and I know that they know, and I can tell you personally, I've experienced it before myself. It's tough having a business. You swear that you have a great idea, and it just falls because nobody is buying it. And so you have to really have a customer to go to. So continuing on. We want to talk about developing markets in our community and a chance for repeat customers, and how video plays into this. Video, obviously, when you put a video online, a lot of times video has a much higher percentage. Let me see if I have a graphic here. Video has a much higher percentage of being viewed than any other. I have a graphic somewhere here. Video has a much higher percentage of being viewed than any other information medium that they have out there. I can't find it immediately, but basically, when you put a video online, people have a tendency to want to see what's happening. Whereas if you put a meme, or if you and people have made money from putting memes online. People have made money from putting pictures online, and that's where you get the social media that features images and features image broadcasting. But video is special because when you put it online, it's about 53% to 5 times more likely to be viewed by your potential customers in your potential market. And so you want to make sure that you are addressing your marketing, you're addressing your customers using video, which is the purpose of this video itself. And so you want to, I want to say once again to the people in my community, you want to use video to develop markets in your community, and you want to make sure that you get your video marketing particularly to your community. Part of identifying your customer and identifying who your customer is knowing where they're at. And sometimes, people like to think that their customer is everybody, especially if they have a product where they don't have to. Information products are great because you don't have to necessarily put an information product right there in front of you. Information product, or excuse me, you don't have to put an information product is not something that you have to hold on to. You don't need a warehouse to store an information product. Most times you need a computer, and sometimes you don't even need that. And so an information product is easy to handle, and it's easy to send out to people. You want to, I kind of lost my train of thought there. You want to make sure, though, that you have your products available for people. You want to make sure that you have your products available for people, and you want to make sure that these products are being advertised locally. Well, I remember what I was on. The information products can be advertised all over the states. Information products can be advertised anywhere all over the world. And so a lot of times people like to think, okay, well, I got information products, everybody is my customer. And that may not be true. This is where you need to do market research to find out exactly what need your product fits for your customers. But part of that is knowing who your customer is. Who is your target market? What does your marketing plan say your customers is? And so once you identify what your customer, who your potential customers are, who you want to be your potential customers, where are they located, what's their demographics, then you can begin targeting your videos. It's as I understand it, I heard an expert even say earlier today when I was doing some research on this. He said that people have a tendency to think that everybody is going to be their customer just because they don't have a product that either they physically have or have to warehouse or anything, and this is a wrong idea. He see people fall time and time again. You have to target who you're looking for. The way this person put it, he said that your customers, you basically using video marketing, your customers, you want to find your hottest, best customers. In other words, the customers that have the most interest in what you do. And it's better than trying to target everybody who may have in the middle, marginal or passing interest, or on the other end of the scale, little to no interest. You want to get the people at the beginning. You want to get the people at the beginning who have a high interest in what you do, and then market to them, and then let it trickle down into other people who have interest to a lesser degree. So you really want to get to know your customer. You want to find out who they are, and after you find out who your customer is, that's when you want to begin to actually identify their wants, their needs, or it's actually part of finding out who your customer is. Identify their wants, their needs, and identify how does your product fit their wants and needs. How does your product satisfy or something that they need, or relieve their pain. I can tell you from my own personal experience that the products and services that I offer, for instance, public adjusting, home inspections, real estate deal evaluations, those type of things, the products and services that I offer, I tell people all of the time, hey, you're throwing away tens of thousands of dollars. By the way, that's a little plug for my business again. But you're throwing away tens of thousands of dollars in claims money. You're throwing away tens of thousands of dollars that could be going to your real estate deals. And although price may not be an issue, people losing money. People do not like. One thing I found out from the stock markets is that people do not like losing money. People like making money. People like retaining their money once they make it. They certainly don't like losing their money, and it's very painful. And so in my business, that's one of the pains that I found out that I needed to address for my customers. Also, another thing that I found out, one of the things that I needed to address was that I needed to address people who had just experienced a loss. I'm going to ease your loss. I'm going to ease your stress because people who have losses have a lot of stress in my business. And so, as many of you have experienced, if you have property damage or, God forbid, it's something catastrophic and something worse happened, the last thing you want to do is deal with an insurance company who's trying to cheat you. As a matter of fact, in some of the most morbid issues that happen in regards to insurance loss, you certainly don't want to deal with an insurance company who's going to be callous towards your situation and not understand what you're going through and cause more problems than some of the most serious problems that we have. And so it's important that you address your customers, issue, you address the potential pain that's caused by them not having your product and service. And that's really, really important. You have to learn how to appeal to their emotions. And so you want to be very sensitive to your customer environment. Another thing is that you want to deal with the fact that your customers have a very busy life. They don't have all day just to spend with you. They may like you, they may want your service, but they're mostly concerned about what can that service do for them. How is that service going to benefit them? How is that service going to benefit their life? What are they going to be able to do with that service that's going to make their life a little bit easier? How is it going to, is your service going to help their children scream a little less? Is your service going to help them be able to get to work faster or feel better? Is your service going to help things run smoother when they're at the house? Is your service going to help them with their relationships? Is it going to improve their life? Is it going to make their life more efficient? And to be honest with you, people don't want to spend a whole bunch of time waiting around. Even in this video right here, I'm talking, but I'm going to have to go back, and I don't know if this is going to be in the post edit, but I can tell you right now, people want the information and they want it now and they want it quick. They don't want you wasting too much time with stuff that they don't care about. Now, if they care about it, they're willing to listen. If they don't care about it, they really don't want to hear it. And so you have to be efficient about what you're giving people, and you have to be respectful of the time and give people what they want. And so it's important to really look into your customer, see what they want, try to relieve a pain that they're having. Because I tell you what, here's something interesting, and this is something that I found out. A customer, if you, and I'm talking about me as a consumer, a customer, if you approach them and they don't want your service, some people will be rude, some people will be they'll be dismissive, they'll be rude, they'll take a look for, or some people will take a look for a second and then pass you by, and that's how it's going to be for the majority of people, because they're not interested in what you want. But if you have a service, if you're going to fulfill a need for a person, if you're able to show that person that, hey, I've got the solution for your problem, then that person who was going to pass by real quick, especially in video marketing, if you can demonstrate that within the first seconds of what you're doing, then they will actually stop and listen and give you more time. And every time that you're able to present to them a little bit more how your product or service solves their problem or increases their happiness, or keeps them from experiencing sadness or pain, then they give you more time and they listen even more. And so you want to keep this in mind. Now, this is, let me tell you, I'm not, like I said, I qualified this in the beginning of the video. I'm certainly not the expert on this, but I've used this in my own marketing successfully, and I've used these techniques. You have to, unfortunately, people don't buy, and the stock markets run like this too. People do not usually buy off of raw facts and figures. People buy off of avoidance of pain, and seeking pleasure. And if you don't know this in marketing, you're missing the basics. you're missing what you need to sell to people. People buy off of feelings, and so you got to address these feelings. But the feelings are obviously based in a reality. But if you can appeal to their emotions, and you can appeal to the pain or the pleasure or the want for pleasure or the avoidance of pain that causes those emotions, you're going to find yourself to be a successful person. And so all of this is included in knowing your customer, knowing their wants, knowing their needs, knowing their desires, and lastly, respecting their time. We're going to move on. I want to take a second once again for those of you who may have tuned in later. Once again, my name is Sean Simpkins. I didn't actually mention at the first part of this broadcast, but I don't know if you could see it down here in the bottom left-hand or right-hand corner of your screen. But there's a little tag there, and if you go to the website, or if you hit this tag on the website, I'm basically having a $200 giveaway that I'll be giving away towards the end of October. If you share my website, share my services with your friend. If you think this video is valuable, all you have to do is click on that little icon. It should be right here or right here next to the video. Click on that little icon, and you can have a chance to win $200. Now, one of the base requirements is that I'm going to have to get at least 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, or 10,000 hits on my Rourke's Facebook page, or I'm going to have to get about 1,000 Twitter followers. But if I make that goal, you can win. You can win $200. You have the chance to win $200. But I offer a great service. I'm going to be giving out great information, and I'm going to put it in a way where you understand it. I'm not going to give you a bunch of professional mojo, and I'm certainly not going to be trying to sell you anything at the end of this at the end of a video. And not that that's bad. That's actually a good thing. But that's not my style. I love giving people. I want to give you. I don't want to. I've been blessed, and my services kind of sell themselves, and so I get my sales from just being a good person. And so, if you do have an issue with your insurance claims, you feel free to call me, and I'll be more than glad to help you if you have those issues. Please spread it around to your friends. It helps me. It helps me be able to present or make presentations like this to you. I'm a wonderful public adjuster. There's great public adjusters. And by the way, if you're viewing this and you don't happen to be in the state of Florida, I can still give you claims help. I can give you the advice that you need. If you already have representation, I can recommend good claims professionals or attorneys or other professionals that you may need in your particular region or area. Also, if you go to I forget what tab it is on the website, it also lists a couple of services that I provide through Fiverr, and starting at just $5. There are services. Now, I'm not trying to sell you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sell you on the services. I'm just telling you that they're there. But if you need help, help is available, and so you could check that out if you want to. But definitely check out the giveaway. I'm giving away $200. All you have to do is spread my website around to your friends and let everybody know that I'm here. I got to tell you, folks, I love coming to you. I really want to help. Even if I am not the expert, what I will do is I'll do research to try to help you out if you don't have the time to do it when it comes to your homeowners or insurance claims issues. It just makes me a better person, and it's going to make you better, and you can say that you at least tried to consult a professional for your issues. So we want to move on because time really is going fast. I'm surprised. It's been very nice sitting with you. It's been very nice meeting with you. If you hear something in the background, that's just my AC clicking on. But it's been very nice sitting with you so far, and I can't tell you. Like I said, I will be adding an element of interactivity to these videos in the near future. This is one of the first videos. I think it may be the absolute first video that I'm putting out, although I do have some other videos on YouTube. But you can catch me here every Wednesday. In the future, you can catch me here every Wednesday. Once again, my name is Sean Simpkins, licensed public adjuster. You can catch me here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. and we're going to be going over just good strategies. Some of these presentations will be about an hour. Some of them will be a little shorter. Like I said, I want to be respectful of your time, but at the same time, I want to be able to get across the information that you need to know in a meaningful way. And so, also, you can look for these after the broadcast. You can look for these videos on YouTube, and what I'll try to do is I'll try to edit them down so that they'll be convenient for you. They'll give you the information that you need, and you can use it, and hopefully you'll be able to use my video. You could spread it around to the people that you know and care about, so that they can use it, so that they can develop good plans for dealing with business and their profession based off the videos that I can, and certainly any insurance, home ownership, real estate, or real estate investing information that I'll be putting out. I want you to use it, spread it around. Okay, so moving on. Now, one of the key things that a lot of people fail to do. One of the key things that a lot of people fail to do is they fail to do keyword research when they're making their videos. Remember, we just talked about you have to have a good product and you have to kind of know your customer. But once you know your customer, part of knowing your customer is knowing what they're looking for. Because in order for them to find you, they have to go online, they have to go on the computer to find you. And if you are not in the place where they're looking, they're not going to find you. And I shouldn't even say this. I hope none of my competitors I hope none of my competitors see this, but I've seen so many people in my field make this mistake. And except for the biggest ones in your industry, I'll just use my career as or my industry as an example. Okay, insurance adjusters, claims adjusters. There are claims adjusters. There are public adjusters in my area, and they advertise under the word public adjuster. And I remember I was working for a very good company, and I'm really sorry that we're not working together now, because those are a good bunch of guys. I'm not going to shout out this stuff on my program, but they are very good. I want to say that the people that I under was a good bunch of guys. They were young guys too. They were younger than me. Good bunch of young guys. And in future videos, you may get a chance to actually see some of them. I'll invite them to say a word or two. But I've seen public adjusters in my industry make the horrible mistake of trying to dominate the word public adjuster. Nobody knows what a public adjuster is. I wish I had the poster that I usually use when I do little events. As a matter of fact, if you go on my Facebook page, or if you click on the Facebook icon, it should open up a separate window. You can see one of the last events that I was actually at, and you'll see in the background, you see this big poster, this big giant poster, just like that picture on the wall behind me. It's a big giant poster that I use, and it says, "What is a public adjuster?" Now, if you don't do keyword research, you will not know. And you don't research your customers, you don't research your keywords, you will not know that nobody looks for public adjusters. In the United States, every month, I think maybe 70 people look up the word public adjusters, and I can almost guarantee you that all 70 of them are public adjusters themselves. They are not looking for your service. And so, I'm not just saying this about public adjusters. You need to extrapolate this example to your product, service, or industry. Okay? Make sure that you are findable in the search engines, and one of the ways to be findable in the search engines is to do keyword research. So there's a couple of, actually, and I can't get into it too much because I have a limited time. But there's a couple of issues when it comes to that and being able to find you. You have the one issue where you have a keyword like I just said, and nobody searches it. You have a keyword, nobody's searching it, nobody's looking for it, and therefore you're not going to get any customers because that's not where your customers are at. It's like you having a hot dog stand, and you set it outside of a mosque. Sorry, Islamic people are not your customer. It's like you having it's like you having an ice cream stand in Alaska in the coldest months of the year. They're not your customer. Okay, and so and they're not going to be looking for you, and that's obviously that's a physical environment, but it's the same thing with keywords. Your customers have no idea what you are, or at least as a public adjuster, most people have no idea what we are, and so it doesn't make sense to aim our videos and aim our keywords or keyword our video and develop our video and our video formatting and output, like for instance when you go into YouTube and you do SEO. SEO is a whole different topic. We're not going to talk about it today. This is kind of a part of it, obviously, but we're not going to actually get into the whole how you SEO. That could be another topic for another time. Plus there's plenty of good videos out there and plenty of good information, plenty of good website and blogs out there on the internet that tell you how to SEO. However, in terms of keyword research, you want to be where your customer is at. The other issue that comes into keywords is that everybody's there and only the biggest and best are at the top of it. Now, why would you go somewhere where nobody can see you? Or why would you go somewhere where not only is it crowded, but you're the littlest guy there or the littlest lady there? Why would you go somewhere and do that? You wouldn't. That's not good common sense. And one thing this show is about practicality and common sense. And it is not good common sense to go and try to focus the keyword SEO on your video in places where either there's no one to compete for, or there's no way you're going to compete with the type of competition that's there, because it's well established, they're bigger, they have a bigger budget, they're able to do it better, and they've been there for a long time. The longer they've been there, the search engines, especially Google, have a tendency to stick with them as long as they continue to bring fresh content. And Google, Yahoo, Bing, all the search engines are about content and what you bring. And so if they're bigger than you, they're going to be able to bring a lot more content than you are, because you got to balance what you're doing. You got to balance your actual product or service, providing it, with actually doing this stuff, with administrating your business and the finances and accounting and everything. And so you're not going to be able to compete with them. So you don't put yourself in that position. So do your keyword. You're going to have to do your keyword research. You're going to have to be careful where you place your keywords, which is going to be based on your market and your customer analysis. The next thing is, like I just said, markets are getting very competitive. You need to do it now. If you're not doing it now, you're going to look, if you put it off for too long, you're going to look, and in a year or two, any keyword that you potentially would have had a chance for getting, you're not going to be able to get. But if you get there first and you continue to provide good content, you'll actually be able to stay there. And so that will actually work to your benefit. I'll keep this short because the time is starting to run down. The next thing that you want to do is, like I said before, you want to be where your customers are at. You want to make sure you do enough keyword research where you have a keyword that doesn't have so much competition where you can't compete, but it's where your customers go, where enough of your customers go where they'll see you. And then it actually could spread from there. We'll talk about viral in a second here. Try to make this quick. You want to make sure that you're part of keyword research also. As you're doing your keyword research, part of the SEO is going to be make sure that your business listings in the search engines are good. In other words, so you go and you claim a Google listing page. for yourself, and that really helps you. I've claimed two that did really well. One in my current profession, and another one where 5 years later I'm still getting calls, and I don't even do this stuff anymore. I, these business listings are very important, especially in Google, because I think Google probably got like 90% of the search engine traffic right now. So Google is search engines right now, and if you don't have your business listing claimed in a search engine, you're missing the boat. So definitely claim your listing in the search engine. Another thing is make your website visitor friendly, and make it search engine friendly, and that's part of SEO. Like I said, I'm not going to get into SEO too much, but if you don't know how to do it and you don't feel comfortable doing research on the internet and applying it to your website or your blog, then get a professional to do it. It's going to be worth the money. Get a professional to do it and let them help you, because it's so crucial to all of the things that I've said so far. Really is crucial to a small business. You have almost no chance of success unless you do them. But it's really important, especially to a small business, that you continue to that you continue to have a website that not only offers people what they want when they go to the site. In other words, when they land on your page, they should be seeing what they want, exactly what you advertise. Because if they went through the trouble of looking, if they took the half a second or 2 seconds it took to look at your link to your site, they took the half a second to look at the video to your site, and they thought it was okay, then you have their attention. Now it's time for you to capture their attention. That's where your website have to be a good salesman for your product and your service, and they have to be direct, to the point, but pleasing to the eye, and try to your video is going to grab their emotions a bit, but your website is going to continue to hold them. And so you want to make sure that visitors have a good website, and you want to make sure that the search engines, the bots and the search engines, can find your website really well too. So doing good SEO is really going to phenomenally help your business. And so you want to do good SEO on your website. I'm going to move on from keywords, and we're going to move on to how to use other people. How to use other people in your video marketing, or how to use other people to get your videos out there to the public, to as many customers that want your product as you can. One thing that our community have a tendency to lack is support behind our businesses and our efforts, especially when it costs money. Now, in the broader community in our country, this is not as much of a problem. That's why this country is such a juggernaut when it comes to the economy and politics. But in our communities, in the communities that I come from, and communities like it, we have a tendency not to be as supportive, especially if we have to spend money. Well, video marketing is a way for people in your sphere of influence, people who are in your group, to participate and support you, the small business owner, and the product that you're trying to put out, and do it without really expending any significant amount of energy until they realize how good your product and service is, or until they need it. And so you can develop your local market. By having a go-to group of people who can help you get that initial push that you need, so that the search engines, when Google bots start searching your site and start searching the links to your site and the backlinks to your site and the traffic on your site and the activity on your site, they say, hey, wait a minute, okay, this video just showed up connected to this site, and there's a whole bunch of activity. What's going on over there? And so the bots will come in, and they'll start scanning your site, and they'll see all the activity, and they'll see that you put good content, and video content right now is king. And they'll start moving you up in the search engine, and as they move you up in the search, other people will start seeing it, and they'll start going to your site, and it just becomes like a viral That's one aspect of building up a viral audience. And so what you want to do is but you need that initial push, and that initial push can come from people around you. Number one, use your family. Now, and they tell you this in sales, they tell you this in multi-level marketing, but you know what? This is the main place that you should be using them, because it doesn't require much from them, and it can possibly have an even greater effect than them simply just buying a product from you. Let's say MLM, some type of MLM product. It doesn't. They may buy one product. They may not really be into trying to push it for you. But in this, at the simple tap of a button, not only are they supporting your product or service or your industry or your idea, but they spread it to a certain amount of their friends almost automatically. And if they just do a couple of more press of the button, you could reach hundreds of people for one of your family members or one of your friends putting your idea out there. Taking a couple of seconds, 30 seconds to put your idea out there. And so the power of social media and your family, combined with your family or your friends, is phenomenal. It has the potential to really give you that push that you need, so that the search engines can find you and spread your site even more. So you want to use your family and friends, and then basically that also extends to people to like and share your pages. Also, don't forget, it doesn't necessarily have to be people who have close emotional ties with you either. It could just be people that you work with, your coworkers. If you work in a job, your coworkers, let's say you're going to school or something like that, it could be the students around you and stuff like that. And one of the main things that you have to do is you can't be scared to tell people what it is that you do. You have to be bold. You have to. This comes with knowing your product and knowing that you're presenting something of value to people. I think I'll do a show later on talking about value, but knowing that you're presenting something of value to people. It gives you the confidence to put it out there, put yourself out there, and let yourself be seen, so that you can be shared. Your product and service, your ideas can be shared with other people, and you'll find customers. The likelihood is that you'll find customers if you'll do that. So, and by the way, I have a little baby girl, and I love her to death. She's my angel. I couldn't imagine life without her. And I tell you what, when she gets old enough to share, like Facebook and all of that stuff, she will be sharing my stuff, liking my stuff, and doing all of that stuff with her friends, children, and and if you're a business owner and you have a significant amount, you're still small, but you have a significant amount of employees. Let's say you have 10 or 20 or 50 employees or something like that. Use them. They're slave social media labor. Use them. Get them to share your pages, like your pages. That gives you that push that you need to get your site or your information or your product or service up in the search engines. So use your employees and use your children, not in a bad way, but get them to make them know that they need to be supporting what it is that you do, because you support them. Next, just real quick, you want to get engaged in your community, and many of you are already, if you're a small or micro business owner like myself, you want to get engaged in your community. You want to go out to do little small community events, but you want to talk to 20 or 30 people at those events. Spread your card out. Ask the people, do some quid pro quo. I'll like your page if you like my page. Hey, come take a look at my site. The $200 offering is a really good thing. Everybody want to make money, so you do a little giveaway. It doesn't have to be $200, but do a little giveaway. Get involved, get active with people, go out and meet people, because although social media is great, social media is based off the idea of being social with regular people. So you want to get out there. If you belong to a church is a great way to start. But another thing, once again, I have to go back to, you have to be confident in what you're offering, so that you feel confident to go to your church members. The reason why you may feel awkward and shy about going out and talking to people is because maybe you don't have the confidence in your product or your product knowledge. Know your product, know what you're offering, and then go and share it with people. Share it with your church, share it with your civic organizations, share it with your homeowners associations. Or well, in my case, I share it with homeowners associations. But in your case too, share it with any organization that you are a part of, and you would like to actually get that information out. I'm kind of running. I don't want to run over in this broadcast. But that in general is basically some things that you need to consider to get your video marketing to go viral. And if you listen to this broadcast, like I said, I'm going to try to make a more abbreviated version, but if you listen to this broadcast, it will tell inside there, if you listen to the key points, if you just follow those basic key points, they're like the atoms of successful video marketing. I promise you that you'll be able to you'll have powerful results in your local marketing. In terms of using video, which is going to be the dominant form of marketing here in the future, if it isn't happening already. It's just the metrics haven't caught up with the actual event. A couple of things I want to mention before I go. You can there's a couple of another thing that you want to do is you want to get your video to go viral, and some of the things that I mentioned before will get your video to go viral, but there's a couple of programs or a couple of concepts that I want to mention that will help get your video to go viral. There's a program called Viral Lock, and what that does is Viral Lock and other there's a few other similar programs. What that does, and I use it myself, Viral Lock, what it does is that it actually locks your content until the person shares it. So they're required to share it before they get the content. And obviously, just like I said earlier, one person may in time give you exposure to 100 people, or maybe 10, or maybe 50, or maybe 1,000. You don't know. But it requires them to share your content. If your content is valuable and you're offering them something they want, it requires them to share your content before they actually are able to get it, and that creates kind of a viral flow for you. Another program is called Unbounce, and basically this is there's a series of these type of capture type programs that you put on your website or your blog, and basically when somebody tries to leave your blog or your website, these will remarket them at the end as they hover over, let's say, the back button or something like that. These will remarket them at the end and ask them, the "Are you sure you want to leave?" questions, or "Are you sure you want to leave without doing this? I'm providing so much value here. I really want to give this to you." And so it's like remarketing them, and that gives you kind of a good bump in terms of capturing a potential market. And then the last thing I'm going to mention here is squeeze pages. Squeeze pages are good for capturing email addresses, which is good for remarketing. There are experts out there. There's plenty of videos out there that tell you about squeeze pages, but if you don't really know, if you never heard the word or the concept before, a squeeze page is a page that might be somewhat similar to your main website, but it's just a page that you get specifically to draw people in and to get their basic information, like for instance their name and their email address, and then you can serve them up with your more serious marketing at a later time, and you can continuously serve them with marketing over and over again until one day that they need your service. So that's a good way to capture those people. Remember, I told you that there was kind of like a graph where there's a certain section of people who really wanted your service, then there was a large group that maybe didn't need it as much, and then there was a group who didn't care. Well, using those squeeze pages, people who don't necessarily need your service, or at the time but have a little bit of interest in it, you can remarket to them if you have a squeeze page over and over and over again, and you could start capturing those people. And when the need comes up, they all of a sudden move into I need your service zone, and so you're there, you're in their face without being obnoxious about it. You're there, you're in their face. Squeeze pages can be really beneficial, and so that's something that you definitely want to put in your video marketing arsenal in terms of making your website friendly for visitors. So anyway, I'm going to end the program here. This is my first one. I got to tell you, like I said, I really enjoyed talking to you tonight, and I really enjoyed this, and I look forward to having many more nights with you. Once again, my name is Sean Simpkins. I'm a licensed public adjuster. This Rourke's Insurance Consulting. I'll be presenting you in the future with videos, like I said, related to insurance claims, real estate investing, and other aspects of helping, especially people in our community, especially in the people in the community I come from, with professional issues that they might be facing, that I can offer them advice on. And more importantly, in the future, my hope is to get other professionals to come in and really those people who are experts in their field to really talk about these things in depth and target it, so that you get good quality information, so that we can really develop our community, we can really develop our market, we can start making some money, creating jobs in our community, lower economic related crime in our community, and really see a change in our community if we work together. And so I wish you all of the best. Thank you for spending this hour with me, and take care of yourself. God bless you. Ashe.